Hello everyone, welcome to Taller Del Hogar. This time we are going to repair a Maytag dryer. The problem is that pressing the start button does not rotate the drum. You can hear that he works and everything, but he doesn't turn. Well, we might think it's lavender, but in this case it's not lavender. Let's start taking apart. This is the full video. If you want to see the short video, we already have it on the channel. In a minute you learn how to repair it. This video is in case you want to learn how to disassemble them in their entirety, all the tips that I am going to give you. We're going to start by removing the screws at the top, which are 2 cross or Phillips screws. The filter here is recommended to be washed with water. Why? Because it's too dirty and clogged, then that's going to wash away. That has to be done in a complete maintenance. These dryers are very easy to maintain and very easy to repair. You can repair these yourself. We are not going to move any gas or anything like that. We've already removed the 2 screws that we have in that part. Now we're going to remove or we're going to lift the lid. How do you do that? I use plastic wedges. You can even use a badge or card. Press. Here I have a hard time. Why? Because let's say that with both hands it would be easy, but here with one it was a little complicated for me. Well, we push that part and we also push from this other part. And with that he has to leave. Remember that we are on several social networks such as TikTok and Facebook. And well, look, here it is. We are going to do it a little in front so that it gives us a chance to lift the lid and stop at the top. Ready. Now we see the band and as you can see, the band is working properly. So let's review what else it can be. Here it could already be a problem whether the engine or the engine pulley is swept. We're going to remove these 2 screws. It's 5 to 16. We have one on this side and one on the other side. Practically with 2 screws we finished disassembling everything that is the dryer part. We would not have to remove any more screws. Unless we have to do a little maintenance. Remember that if you have any questions or opinions, you can leave them in the comment box. They are all read. Just answering many times is a little more complicated. But we try to answer everything. Just to leave you a little heart, leave me something that you have found interesting or something that you can contribute to the community. Since I see that you also respond to each other a lot. So that's very good since the joke is to help each other. We're going to remove the lid from the front as you could see. And now we are going to focus on the bottom. Before that, it is recommended that you have to do a complete maintenance. It's cleaning up all the lint. For that I already have a detailed video. How to disassemble part by part to do a complete cleaning. Now here we have this part here. How do we remove the band? Well, the belt is removed, let's say, by pushing the tensioning pulley. We are going to force and with the other fingers we take the band out. Then when we take out the belt we realize that the pulley turned quite easily. What does that mean? That the pulley is probably swept. We take out the tub. Here this little friend is gossiping. We are going to use the same band to use the tub as a basket. Here it is. We put it where it doesn't get in our way, and as you can see, it's a little dirty. These dryers are quite easy to clean because as they are painted, let's say that practically no dirt adheres to them. There are some that come like iron and they begin to rust. And those do give a little more work because we are even going to have to sand and paint it. And that's it. We are going to turn off this lamp because I think it hinders us more than it helps us. And here we have this pulley. The motor pulley. As you can see, she is spinning. I mean, she already looks like she's crazy. Here the engine is turning, but when it turned the pulley it practically did not tighten even if it had a rope. We're going to have to replace this pulley and the belt. This band is the 5H of 118 centimeters. Do not confuse it with the 116 centimeter 4H. I know that a lot of technicians put it, but I recommend you put the band that it is. This is a little bit larger, which is the 5H or 5 thread counts, let's say. And this is the pulley. If you want the spare part one, also leave you a link in the description in case you want to buy it. And if you buy it with this, we will give you a little advice. It would be through a sales platform in Mercado Libre or TikTok or some other. We are going to get down to work now and we are going to start cleaning up a little. I personally don't like such a long video, but they ask me for it later because they want to see the whole disassembly. Because there are people that maybe you can already know how to dismantle, let's say everything, or by intuition. Well, there are people who disassemble very easily, but there are people who don't. That it is quite difficult for them to pay attention to something. So, well, I'll leave it complete so that you can see everything that is being done. Here I am teaching you more or less that you have to put a little isopropyl alcohol when you remove the pulley. But hey, let's take one apart to see how it is maintained. Better so that you are a little aware. This is the fat I use. It is a grease that can withstand the temperature and is from the Whirlpool brand as well. We're going to remove this pulley. We remove the security. As you can see in the back, it's always going to have quite a bit of lint. So we're going to remove all the lint. We're going to clean this whole part well. I recommend always having isopropyl alcohol. You can also use this thinner even, but isopropyl alcohol is used quite a bit in electronics. And for the same reason that I have it on hand, I like to use it a lot for cleaning, even the pulleys. I don't recommend sanding these axles because I've had to sand them and everything to thin them out. But as long as you clean him well with isopropyl alcohol. But the grease I'm telling you about. Practically with that, the pulley already fits you quite well. Now let's clean the pulley. Look, even the pulley is going to look different. There are only 2 pulleys that we have to clean, and also the tensioning pulley. The tensioning pulley, which one is it? Well, the one that tightens the band. Here it is. Now we're going to put its grease on it and clean this pulley here. There he is. It already looks clean. It even changes the color. It seems that you were changing it for another, but no. It's the same. Let's put that little fat on it. We put a few drops on it. We muddy it with the same finger and then we put the same pulley on it. I don't recommend putting a lot of fat on it because you may think I'm putting too little fat on it. That I put another weight of fat on it, but no. Here, the less fat you put to a certain extent the better, because what the fat is going to do is adhere powder. Then you can even make the pulley grind quickly or quickly tie if you put a lot of grease on it. Now we clean this security and start assembling. Here we already have practically a little clean everything that is the Latina. It even looks a little better. It still needs to be turned because it has to be turned around. It has to be maintained, as I say, a complete maintenance. And now we are going to put the new pulley on it. This is the old pulley. I'm just putting it on to see how far it went. And what we have to do now is revive the rope. What does it mean to revive the rope? Well, if we put it like this, the pulley does not enter because half of it is swept. Half of the ropes are covered. So let's clean this up. It can be with a wire brush or even with a tip, a cutter. You can clean that. What is the axle has to be flush with the pulley. For example, it is missing there. Here it is missing, but the shaft has to be flush with the pulley so that you know. Let's put the band on now. That's where I put the tensioning pulley more or less. A little cleaning was done. And we are going to start putting the tub now. The tub gets pretty easy. Practically it is only lifted and pushed towards the bottom, reloading the tub on the 2 pulleys that we cleaned. Look, I'm going to see it for, well, I'm going to peek it inside. And remember that the plush goes from the back too so that you don't have a problem. Look, here it is. We enter there, and now we are going to put the band that I tell you is the 5H, the 118cm one of the Maytag brand. If you buy it and it comes in a Whirlpool bag, it is normal, it is practically the same manufacturer. And now that we put it on, we're going to connect, or we're going to put the tensioner pulley well with the belt. How do you get it? Well, it's pretty easy. Look, all we have to do is stretch the band. We spent it making a buttonhole or a ring in this part of here. And we push, and with the other hand we put it on the pulley. Have you seen yet? And that's pretty much it. It's pretty easy, as I told you. It is very quick to make these kinds of changes. Here maybe it took me practically what I'm taking in this video is how long it took me to do it. Maybe about 8 more minutes of cleaning, but there it is. Ready. Now to put the lid in front of it, then is what I see that they managed to struggle a little. But it's pretty easy. The only thing we have to identify is on these shores. There's like a little hook in this part of here. Then we have to lift the lid, push and go down. And there it must enter as it is. Now we connect what is the door switch. Which is this one here. Don't let it go away, otherwise it won't start. We put his last 2 little screws here. As I tell you, here it needs to be cleaned up in the back and everything. Also remember to follow us or leave us a comment on any fault you have. And if I see that it is something interesting, I will try to bring it to the channel as soon as possible. We put its 2 screws on it, we put its filter on it, and we test it now. And well, let's try it and see how it goes. And as you can see, it even sounds much thinner. It sounds better, and that's it. Practically that has been that repair. It's a pulley change, a belt change of a Maytag dryer. Well, I don't tell you about the costs because they vary a lot from technician to technician. And also from the area where they are doing the repair. I hope you liked it. If you liked it, like it, comment, share, subscribe. And see you until next time. Bye.